If you're still scheduling meetings and appointments manually, this walkthrough is going to show you how to automate bookings and reduce back and forth. By the end of the video, you're going to have a published booking workflow that works for you and for your clients. So let's get started. Okay, so this is inside of GoHighLevel or GHL, depending on what you call it. Or if you're on a white label like ours, this is Brandwave. But any white label, any GHL instance is going to look basically like this in terms of calendars. So I'm going to show you in one of our sub accounts. This is an event space. So obviously a calendar setup is extremely important for event venues. They do tours, they do events, they have times blocked off for things. So lots of things that, these calendars are really important for in the event venue space, but certainly it's really applicable to almost every business. So the way I have this set up for them is that they have essentially two main calendars. They have a tour calendar and then they have an actual booked events calendar. So let's take a look at the tour calendar first. So here's how you would set this up. So I'm going to go back and I'll show you all the different types of calendars, but let's just talk about the basic settings in here first. So you've got your logo, your name. You can put a description in here about, what to expect or what to be prepared for, depending on, the type of meeting or appointment. You can customize the URL so it can be whatever, you want it to be. And then you can call the invite anything that you want. So typically, contact name, maybe tour or something, like that. You can make that say anything that you want. Under staff and location, you can assign whoever you want to be responsible for this meeting or appointment. And I'll show you how the round robin calendars work in a minute, but this assumes just one individual. And then your meeting location. So in this particular instance, they're touring the venue. So the meeting location is the full address of the venue. But that might also be Google Meet. That might be a phone call. It might be a Teams meeting. You've got lots of choices there. But this is for them. Obviously, I want them, to come to the full location address because that's where these tours are. Then your availability. So you can set this for anything you want. It could be consistent. You can even do date specific hours. So if it's like, every third Tuesday, we're not available, you can set that so that it's not available at all. And then under booking rules, so this is great because this is where you can control things like how many minutes you want the meeting or the appointment to be, how long in between them you might want, what the minimum scheduling notice is. Can you take somebody who wants a meeting in 30 minutes or do you need 24 hours? You can change that to anything you want. Date range controls how many days out they can book. So we all know if somebody schedules something pretty far out, their likelihood of showing up is not as good. So I typically recommend setting this to no more than like 14 days. But, again, based on your business needs, you might want it less. Sometimes you might want somebody to book within the next day or two, not a week out. Pre-buffer time is how much time in between the last appointment. Same thing with post-buffer time. And then maximum bookings per day. So if you're like, you know what, I can only take 3 consults a day without losing my mind, you'd put in 3 here. And then this look busy button is fun too, because, if you don't want your calendar to look wide open, you want to look busy, you could hide the number of available slots by 10%, 20%, 50%, whatever makes sense for you. And then under here in advanced settings. So here you have a lot of choices. As far as your form, you can create a form that asks anything you want when booking. So maybe you want their website. Maybe you want to know about their event if you're an event venue. Maybe you want to know if they've ever worked with a marketing agency before. And if so, who. You can ask any question you want based on building that into your form. Your consent checkbox, you need this legally, particularly if you're going to send any kind of like SMS communications about it. You can add guests. So if you want, if it's a husband and wife, for instance, and you want them to both attend, you can add them there. And then your confirmation page, you can do a couple of things here. You can put in just this, thank you for your appointment request. Or thank you for booking. We can't wait to see you. Or you can redirect them to, maybe your website or anywhere else, that you might want, them to take additional steps. You could put that here as well. And then under payments, so you can accept payments here. So if you take a deposit for meetings, or maybe you're charging, this is an event venue and we're booking the event and we want to charge them for the event, you could do that here. You can enable coupon codes, you can accept partial payments, you've got lots of options. If you've got a cancellation fee that gets refunded, you could put that here. Lots of options there. And then you've got this notifications option. So all of these are system built notifications. So, you'll see here, we've got appointment booked. The client gets an email, the internal staff member gets an in-app notification. Cancellation, everybody gets an email. Reschedule, everybody gets an email. So these are all system options. So they're pretty generic, what they actually say. They just say, the very basics. This event has been canceled. This event has been confirmed. It's on such and such time. I typically recommend building these out in a workflow via the automations tab, and customizing your emails, making them look a little more branded. But if you need something quick and you just need the basic workflows, absolutely use these. Additional settings down here. This is where you can assign the contacts to the team member that's taking the appointment. So that becomes, their client, or their, you're working with, salespeople, you might need to route them that way. And then you've got this cancellation and reschedule. So you can control if you want the rescheduling link to expire a certain amount of hours, or they can't cancel the same day. You can change all of those settings. And then you can also allow Google, Outlook, iCloud to send invitations and email updates. So they can get this email, and this is entirely customizable. So right now, this is, just name and phone number. Need to make changes to the event, but this could be like, we're excited to meet with you at blank time. We look forward to talking about blank. You could put anything in here that you want. And then finally, your customization options. So down here, you can add like a cover image to make it pretty. You can change all of your primary color buttons, so it doesn't just look like, if you're using Calendly, everything's blue and white. You can make this branded to your brand details. And then you can also really customize it with custom code if that's your thing. But this is just kind of the basic back end. So really easy to set up just a single calendar like this. There's also a services calendar menu. So here you'll see we can add specific staff and assign them to appointments on the calendar. Resources could be, things like AV equipment or tables, add-ons. If you sell packages and there's an add-on, you can put that here. Different locations. If you've got your primary location, but maybe you've got a secondary office, you could put that in here. So lots of choices here. But what I wanted to show you was the different types of calendars. So when you come in to the calendars functionality, and you go to do a new calendar, you're going to see that you have a ton of calendar options. And I could spend an hour talking you through each one of these and all the differences. So that'll probably be a separate video, but just kind of the down and dirty right here. Personal bookings. This is one-to-one. Like, my name's Jenna. I meet with people. I need a calendar for my availability to take consults. Round robin would be if you've got a sales team and you want to just assign the next appointment to whoever is in that rotation in a rotating order. That's what round robin does. And that's where you'd want to use that, like, assign the team member type of thing. Class booking, that's exactly what it sounds like, right? That's a webinar, that's an online course. It's more ticketed than it is like an actual appointment. And then collective booking. So this is, again, if you need multiple people to host a meeting and one participant. So this might be something like college intake interviews or job interviews or something like that, where you're going to have multiple people plus one attendee. You could use that. Event calendar, that's pretty obvious, right? That's conferences, seminars, workshops, things like that. And then service booking. This is the one that could, eat up an hour all on its own. This is if you're doing spa appointments, repair services, you've got different types of consultations. I've got this set up this way for several venues where it's like, there's a wedding, there's a corporate event, we're booking based on the type because they're different lengths, right? A wedding might be, they're booking all day, a corporate event might be 4 hours. So you can set that up with the services menu as well. So this is all what you can set up on the inside of GoHighLevel, GHL, or our white label is Brandwave. Extremely robust calendaring system. And within this, from here, then you can go and build, these automations and workflows that send automatic reminders or maybe nurture sequences. For this one in here, right? I've got this tour booking. Once they schedule this customer booked appointment in the tour calendar, then they get an email. And then, we wait until one day before the appointment, then they get another reminder email. And then I think we wait maybe 2 hours before they get a final reminder. So lots of options for, following up with people after they book as well. And we all know when we do that, people are more likely to show up or be prepared. You can pre-sell them, make them, pretty warm by the time they get to you. So this is a really important functionality to have for your business. And so if you do not have a calendaring, system yet, if you're using Calendly, but finding it, pretty limited for what you need, please reach out. I'd love to help you set one of these up. And if you are not on GoHighLevel or GHL and you are looking, at that, I would love to show you Brandwave and, the additional support we can provide through Brandwave. Thanks.